The Minhas Micro Distillery opened its doors in 2012 in the quaint town of Monroe, Wisconsin. Customers from all over the world visit the distillery to learn the craft of making high-quality spirits and to sample a wide range of products: rum, vodka, tequila, whiskey, gin, moonshine, and more. The Minhas Micro Distillery has something for everyone. Founded by the internationally acclaimed Minhas family, crafting fine spirits like Punjabi Club is a dream that began decades ago on the other side of the world.
Oh my school is still here, and it's been 40 years. That's the fence we used to jump to miss our morning prayers because they were so boring every day. Oh boy, the principal office. I was called here a couple of times. I can't say that it was for anything good, so I don't want to talk about it. I went to this school for 6 years, and it's the same desks and the same setup. Oh my God, I can't believe this. This is the place where I got my first taste of alcohol. This was in grade 8, and it was 1968 actually, and I was 14-year-old. I was kicking on the floor, doing nothing. I kicked into this metal sheet, and a whiff of alcohol smell came. I didn't know what it was. It was different, that's for sure. And then when I got a chance, when the teacher wasn't there, I took a cup out of it and I had a taste with my friends, and we tasted it, and it was, I don't know, it felt good, let's put it this way. Well, it turned out that the caretakers of the school were fermenting their own alcohol at night when there were no students, and they had put the fermentation thing in the ground underneath my desk, and I discovered it, and all of a sudden the caretaker was fired and we lost our alcohol. I knew I had to make alcohol one day, somehow, somewhere. I can't believe that it's still there. I can't believe it.
Though Moni's first experience with alcohol occurred in the classroom, his forefathers have been learning to perfect the creation of spirits for generations.
Come on in, guys.
After 31 years, I'm going to finally learn the secret family recipe to making moonshine.
Maybe. These ingredients have been in our family for a long time. It's been passed. It was my grandfather actually who told me. And wow. Tell me what you think that is.
Moonshine.
Moonshine, yeah. This has gotten beaten up a few times.
So do you
I don't know why.
Do you dent it every time you make a batch? We made a lot of batches.
So you know, this has been bubbling away for 12 days.
Yeah, so I can drink it.
So, yeah, you can drink. I think.
Ooh.
What's next is hard work.
Before the fermented liquid is boiled, Moni and Ravinder will add their family's special ingredients to create a moonshine with unforgettable taste.
Dried rose, dried amla, ritha, shwara, khadai, malatti, saunf, ilachi.
So, okay, there's a few things that can go wrong with making moonshine. Number one is it can blow up. I mean, you're dealing with stuff that you're boiling to capture alcohol off of it. So there's your first problem. Number two is it can be poisonous. So you've got to be very careful when you're making moonshine.
So what happens, this is called the heads.
Yeah.
And what's in it is the low alcohols. It's starting to get boiled.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you discard this. You don't drink this stuff. Just smell now. No, this is a smell. Stop it. You always have to do what I tell you not to do.
The art of distilling is how to make cuts for the heads and the tails. This includes discarding all the heads and the tails to create the best tasting spirit.
This is, in Punjabi we call it Pehle Tod Di Sharab, This is the first glass of moonshine that came out.
Yeah.
So we just want to test before we call it the really good stuff.
Okay.
And the longer this flame burns, the more higher quality it is. Okay?
Whoa.
Oh, that's good. Very good.
Wow.
It's still going.
You need to take a little bit of that for camping to light the fire, and the rest for yourself, and it'll be a good night.
I don't know what are you talking about. I don't think so.
Once the moonshine is created and is safe to drink, the Minhas family experience a taste from the past.
This is wow.
Oh yeah.
Much better than I expected.
Cheers.
And I think we got the perfect stuff for the Whiskey Temple.
Now that the moonshine is bottled, Moni and Ravinder visit the Whiskey Temple for a unique adventure and to make an offering.
There is no religious thing here. There's none. It's not associated with any religion. It's a group of believers. They were singing the praise of the Baba Rodesha, in whose name this temple is, the Whiskey Temple is. What's funny is that apparently Baba Rodesha himself did not drink.
There's this legendary story of this gentleman that walked out of the forest after 20 years, and the first person out offered him alcohol. And he said, well, can you take away my woes with this alcohol? He said, you drink the alcohol because I won't. And if you drink it, all your problems will go away. So in typical India fashion, they made a temple for it.
35 liters of alcohol. That adds up to about 5 cases. And I bet you that's potent stuff. That's not Karthi Kaddiyo ji. Hey, and it's a moonshine also.
After the Whiskey Temple, the Minhas family walked the streets of Moni's village for one last glimpse into the past.
Okay, so this is the exact house where I was born. Nobody's lived here for the last 50 years. I was born in the village of Droli Khurd in Jalandhar, Punjab, India. Our family, Minhas family, has been there since the 12th century. So for 800 years, my father, his father, father, all of them were born in that village, and they farmed. Many of my values do come from the village where I was born. It's interesting. Nobody lives in that village now. I really thought that there is a bigger word out there, that the Indian culture is great, but it's too constricted for a freedom-searching, independent thinking, crazy guy like me.
You never really see your parents as having a life before you. And so to go to their village and to see where he was born, it was a very interesting, eye-opening experience for sure. And I'm glad that we got to do it at this age rather than younger, I think, because we probably wouldn't have, at least I know for myself, having kids myself now, I really wouldn't have cherished it as much to know where his roots and where he came from.
The deep origins of Punjabi Club and other spirits are the foundation of today's Minhas Micro Distillery, a destination rooted in history, family, and tradition.